I've been thinking about it for a while now. Is $80 too much for a video game? I wish I could give you a clear-cut answer with a yes or no, but unfortunately, I can only say maybe it depends. People are already complaining about the recent $70 price tag. We've been used to $60 for a while, and like just a couple years ago, you see several AAA titles going up to $70. Some of the recent titles that were released at $70 are like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Monster Hunter Wilds, Avowed, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Doom, Dark Ages, Metaphor 8 Fantagio, Civ 7, and so on. You get the point. $70 is a lot of money. For me, I expect a full rounded game with a lot of content that is enjoyable for at least 30 plus hours, and every hour in that 30 hours is enjoyable. I am actually okay with games being $70 personally. Again, for me, I play some free-to-play live service games like Marvel Rivals, Fortnite, I guess Valorant at one point, and I spend a lot of money on those. Like for Marvel, for example, I bought 2 Luna Snow skins, 3 Battle Pass, Invisible Woman Wedding skin, the new Penny skin, and probably something else, so that's easily over $100. So for me, spending a lot of money for a video game upfront is okay with me, because I look at myself and I see that I spend a lot of useless money on some useless skins on other games. Not everyone is like me though, and even then, I'm still skeptical on playing $70 games upfront. I think in just this year, during like February and March, I played Civ 7, Avowed, Assassin's Creed Shadows, that were all $70 each, and it felt like a waste of time playing them. Maybe strategy games isn't my thing, maybe action-adventure games isn't my thing, or even maybe an RPG isn't my thing, but I essentially wasted $210 from just those 3 games. That's crazy to me. And so when I see Doom, The Dark Ages being sold at $70, I just don't want to have a total waste of $300, because, you know, like, shooters may not be my thing. And so instead of being there on the first week, I thought, you know, maybe I'll give it a week, see if, I don't know, something spectacular. And that was really the last time I thought about that game. When I see a $70 game, I feel more inclined to do more research. How long is the game? How is the progression? Who is making the game? What genre or genres is it? Are there any showcase videos or any long overview of the game? Do I like the art style? Do I like the characters? What makes this game special or unique from other games? I almost feel like a detective. But when I say game, like a $10 like Undertale, or $20 like Schedule 1, or $30 like Hades 2, even $50 like Claire Obscure Expedition 33, I just need like a 2 to 3 minute gameplay trailer to be inclined to buy it. For Claire Obscure, I believe it was shown like during the Game Awards, I believe last year, and from that trailer alone, I was thinking about playing it. Months later, they revealed a price tag of $50, and at that point, I was for sure buying it. I expected the game to be decent, like a 6 or 7 out of 10, and I would have been okay with that. Now, Expedition 33 being close to a 10 out of 10 is unexpected, but also, because it's $50, it's easy to get people to try the game. I think the reason why games like Palworld, Helldivers, Expedition 33, Schedule 1 are having these crazy breakout success is because they were affordable. Yes, they were good games, but the barrier of entry was also very low, meaning it's much more accessible and easier for people to be willing to buy the game, play the game, and not feel ripped off. I did like Chained Together, but it was only $5, and so the quality matches its price. But when I play a game like Avowed or Diablo 4 that's priced at $70, I expect that game to be wonderful, enjoyable, and worthwhile. Avowed was a yap fest of a dull, boring world. I tuned out in just 5 hours, and I forced myself to finish and see the credit scene to make sure if there was any of the, you know, it gets good after X amount of hours. It never got good. And Diablo 4 was basically an introduction to that particular genre, and I did enjoy Diablo 4. I thought it just didn't resonate with me. Thank God I played Path of Exile 2 a few months ago. That game is amazing in terms of art style, enemy variety, boss fights, different builds, micro gameplay, macro gameplay. It's just top notch. Now, I know it's not me not resonating with Diablo. The problem was Diablo, and I bought Diablo 4 when it was $70, whereas Path of Exile was only $30. As of right now, it will be free to play in the close future. And after having a frustrating experience with Diablo 4, I could see myself in an alternate universe just completely disregard that ARPG genre. I spent $70 on a well-known franchise, made by Blizzard, who made other popular games like Overwatch. If this is what the best, according to the price, then I would have never bought or even knew about Path of Exile 2. I could see other people, more casual gamers, just not try that genre again after having a bad experience, and this could be with any game. I find it hard that if you were just trying out, I don't know, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and just hated it because of the performance, graphics, and story and all that, would you play another Pokemon game? Would you be more or less inclined to play any of the past Pokemon games? They will for sure be more skeptical of like the next one for sure. And that's why I think even if a game like Diablo 4, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Avowed, or even Dragon Age Veilguard, they sold decently, if a lot of players had a bad experience with that particular title, do you think they'll play the next installment of the series? And that brings me to the new potential price point, $80. As of right now, only Mario Kart World is confirmed to be $80, maybe Borderlands 4, and maybe GTA 6. Going back to the question I said earlier, is $80 too much for a video game? It depends, because I actually have 3 different answers for these 3 different games. I think in a vacuum, I'm actually okay with Mario Kart World being $80. I do like the direction based off of the trailers that they're taking with this game. It doesn't feel like it's just Mario Kart 8 but with more courses. They are adding a lot of things. Yes, people are not going to be doing like the open world exploration, me included, but I think this is a great addition. In Mario Kart 8, I see some people where these people would do like some sort of like out of bounds exploit and just explore the area outside of the course, and it's really cool because they actually put a lot of detail outside of the actual playable area. And so even if only 1% of the players actually use this feature, I still think it's a great addition. It's not the only addition, but it's clear that there are risks being taken, and it seems like there are a considerable amount of content at launch. So yes, in a vacuum, I think Mario Kart World being $80 is justifiable, but as a launch title with an expensive console as the Nintendo Switch 2, it's expensive. Mario Kart is no longer $80. It's $500. And with Nintendo adding like their Nintendo Discord or whatever into the Switch 2, promoting with playing with your friends over the internet, you kind of need friends that have the game to use that feature. But when it's essentially $500, and assuming it's not off a retailer, that is very, very expensive. I think it's smart that Nintendo's moving away from like a local co-op approach and embracing online play. But they need to have the online play accessible, and making Mario Kart World $80 is not the move. GTA 6 is a beast of its own. We don't even know if it's going to be $80. It could be $100 for all we know. But with GTA 5 being a generational phenomenon and being the second most sold video game of all time, they can do whatever they want, honestly. We all know the map is going to be big, vibrant, lots to do. They barely show any features of the game except for like some booty physics, but any news and trailer, anything about this game pulls all the attention. This is the type of game that people will pay any amount of money to play. GTA have already proven themselves that they always meet that quality requirement of a full-rounded game. I'm assuming GTA Online will be included with the new title, so that will provide hundreds or even thousands of hours of gameplay. It would be very, very surprising if this title came out and it wasn't spectacular. And now the reason why I made this video. Borderlands 4. Me personally, I'm going to buy the game at $80. I think it can be worth $80, and I am excited with the new stuff they showed in the recent showcase. But I don't think it should be $80. It's not confirmed, but there's a slim chance. Now, Borderlands doesn't have a good overall media reputation that something like, I don't know, League of Legends or Fallout or Last of Us, at least for Season 1, in the recent years. Arcane was a great show and made people want to play League, even if League is, you know, terrible. I never watched Fallout, but the show did really good that it caused a new concurrent player count on Steam last year. And this game came out on 2018. So there's a general trend that when a TV show or movie adaptation does well, so does the game. Unfortunately, Borderlands didn't get that treatment when the movie came out, probably because it got a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes. That, on top of their recent game, Tiny Tina Wonderlands, which essentially was supposed to expand on the fan-favorite DLC expansion of the Dungeons & Dragons theme in Borderlands 2, had a lukewarm reception. I played it. It wasn't bad, but it was something that after I beat the campaign, I decided to be done with it entirely, which is not something you want in a game that's centered around looting, progressing, and getting stronger. And so unlike Mario Kart or GTA, I would say Borderlands has a general negative or cautious eye on it. When you want something to explode, you need to make the game accessible. One easy way to do that is to have an affordable price. No one is going to try out a game at $80, especially when you don't know what kind of Borderlands this is going to be. Is this going to be the classic Gearbox's return to form from when they made Borderlands 2? Or is this going to be the classic modern day Borderlands slop? There are a lot of question marks around this game, and the price is really going to stop people who were on the fence or who still have a little bit of hope to just wait and see. And even if they wait and see, maybe by the time they wait, they pick up another game like First Ascendant or even Marathon. But then, Borderlands will be absent from their minds. Games ramping up players over time is possible, but it's not something you want to rely on. Those tend to be ones that nobody has really heard or expected of prior. Everyone knows Borderlands. It will be all eyes on Borderlands when it comes out. And with a price of $80, everyone will make their decision on the first impressions when it first comes out. And when people decide just on day one, even without playing the game, that leaves no room for winning back players or having any potential growth in the future unless they do something crazy. Even if the price ends up being $70, I still think it will suffer the same fate. You can look at Doom: The Dark Ages. That game overall has a positive reception, but because it's a $70 game I would say for a niche audience, people just flock over to Game Pass to play the game, which is still good that there is a cheaper approach to play the game, but I'm pretty sure they would make more money off sales on Steam than players on Game Pass. The streets are saying that Borderlands 4 development cost is twice as much as Borderlands 3, which is like 140 mil, which means Borderlands 4 potentially will cost $300 million to make. I've said this before in other videos and I'll say it again. Average or decent doesn't cut it because 1 million in sales or even 3 million copies is not enough to cover the production cost of the game. The game has to be spectacular, and if it isn't, well, there's probably going to be layoffs again. And look, I like Borderlands. I found Borderlands 3 to be enjoyable. Even if Borderlands 4 ends up being mediocre, I wouldn't want that to be the last Borderlands. If the rumors are true that Borderlands is going to be $80 at launch, and honestly, any game, with the exception of very few titles, good luck trying to justify that price point to the general casual audience. That will do it for me for today. Make sure to like and subscribe as my goal is to get to 500 subs by the end of the month. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I appreciate you guys for watching.